What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Getting Technical, joined by Raleigh and Sam. What's going on, fellas?
It's a good day. Weather's getting nice. We got some sun on Long Island at least.
Yeah, finally.
So, yeah, some good vibes finally.
Yeah,
I'm tired of the cold, bro. It's not it. I think we're going to talk about NBA. We really haven't talked about NBA outside of that one app with Julian in a while. So, yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing going on right now is one of the closest MVP races there's been in a while. So we got, I think Embiid has really taken the lead on that, and then you got Jokic and Giannis. It really feels like it's more of a two-man race, but Giannis is still, I mean, he's like kind of like in that LeBron range with like his casual numbers are just so, like he effortlessly puts up like a 27, 15, and like 5 now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, me personally, I think that especially with what Embiid's been doing recently, I mean, he's averaging 34 a game. The Sixers have probably been the best team in the NBA for the past few months. I think that right now he's got it. I mean, I know he matches up. I think there's about 10 games left, I think. I know he matches up with both the Nuggets and the Bucks at some point. I think it's like on a Saturday and then a Monday.
Really?
So, I mean, I think it's going to come down to the wire, but right now, the advanced stats say Jokic, but I think the eye test has to say Embiid with the numbers he's putting up right now.
Yeah, I don't think they'll give Jokic 3 in a row. I think they're going to give it to Embiid. He deserves it because if he doesn't get it this year, then like this will be the longest stretch of a player doing what he's been doing over the past 3 years and to not win an MVP. It's kind of ridiculous.
It kind of feels like the Harden stretch where I personally think Harden should have won the MVP over Russ that one year when he had the triple-double.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's hard because there's so many guys, so many people I feel like that just lean on the advanced stats. And while don't get me wrong, Jokic is incredible. I mean, he's the best probably passing big of all time. But what Embiid's doing right now, and I mean the Sixers, bro, I mean, they're 48-23. They're 8-2 in their last 10. He's just been dominating. And they're just playing. The Celtics don't look that good right now. The Bucks, they've been all right. But I think that the Sixers have overperformed this year as well. I didn't think they were going to be as good as they are this year. I don't know about you guys.
What did I have them when we did the predictions? Didn't I have them like second or third?
To be honest, I don't know.
You were bullish on Harden this year.
Yeah.
And I think that I know I wasn't. I don't know if you were.
I don't think I was either.
Yeah. And he had
so
a
you were
fucking
definitely
fantastic year.
He's going to be an all-NBA guy this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. What do you think, Sam?
I mean, I think it's a little bit of voter fatigue. I mean, obviously giving Jokic the 3 in a row doesn't happen too often. I think that's the same reason why, like you said with Giannis, he's just putting up casual 27 and 15s. Voters are just kind of like, all right, well, this is who he is until he does something astronomically different from what he's done for the past 4 or 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to start giving it to somebody new, which is similar to what you said with the Harden run and then giving it to Westbrook that 1 year where he averaged a triple-double. And funny enough, this year Jokic is the one averaging the triple-double.
Right.
So, I mean, it's a little flip-flopped on that end, but ultimately, you could give it to either one. I don't think anybody will be too upset about it outside of the advanced analytics people, which is just at this point, it's just it's gotten too far from watching the game of basketball and paying attention to box scores. Which is, I mean, it happens in all sports. It happened in baseball years ago, and it's kind of like taking a life of its own with Forbes stats. But people still, you just got to watch the games. And right now, Embiid, like I said, with the run that they've had over the past 2 months, I think he kind of solidified it a little bit. But I think both teams have the same exact record as of right now, right?
The Nuggets have played one more game, so the Sixers are 48-23. The Nuggets are 48-24. They're also 5-5 in their last 10. So they've not been playing good basketball at all, really.
And they're still the first seed.
They're still the 1 seed, and that's another thing. I want to talk about this 1 point with Embiid first. So these are Joel Embiid's last 5 games, and I mean I could read like the last 10, but that would just be ridiculous. So 37-16, 31-7, 38-13, 36-18, 31-8. And then the games before that, he had 39, 39, 42. So, I mean, this dude's just going out, and it's just 30 points every single game.
It's like Shaq numbers.
Yeah.
Bro, he's really, like,
modern day Shaq.
He's like
or,
a
the
modern day Shaq
evolution of
Hakeem.
Shaq,
Like the
yeah.
way he's just dominating, and for a guy who started playing basketball so late, it's just crazy to watch. But
And the way his career bounced back after all the foot injuries that he had early on after he got drafted.
Right, and a lot of people thought he was going to end up like a lot of their bigs too in Philly. You know, like the Jaleel Okafor, the Nerlens Noel.
Right.
Who else? Didn't they have one more guy that kind of didn't pan out? That when they Ben Simmons.
Well,
Yeah. Not big, but yeah, like didn't really pan out.
yeah,
Markel Fultz.
bro, have you
Markelle
seen
Fultz,
Markel though recently?
Michael Carter Williams.
Bro, Markel Fultz has been a bucket recently.
Yeah, he's been.
Yeah.
He's been playing really well. I don't know I forgot what his stat line was the other night, but he went off. It's cool to see him finally. You know, it's just not really that relevant because he's in Orlando.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I think the next thing I wanted to talk about at least was like, so like this is the Western Conference right now. You got the Nuggets at the 1 seed, the Grizzlies at the 2 seed, and then you got the Kings at the 3 seed. Outside of that, the Clippers are the Suns are the 4 seed at 38 and 33. The Pelicans are the 12 seed at 34 and 37. There's like 4 games that separate the 4 seed and the 12 seed in the West right now.
Wow.
Man. And with
And
all
how
the
many games
talent.
are left?
10?
I think
10 games
there's
left?
about 10 left.
This is probably like the best time to watch basketball if you wanted to watch basketball all year. It's like, dude, is gonna play hard now.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, bro. And like the West is just so wide. The West has been super stacked for what, the past 10 years.
And it got even more
Probably
stacked
more.
this trade deadline.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the West is
Maybe.
pretty stacked up, but the thing
Kyrie.
is also it's like there's really no runaway team in this conference at least. Because
Right.
the Nuggets are the 1 seed. They got Jokic, great, but I'm not scared of them in the playoffs. Would you guys be scared of the Nuggets? No. Grizzlies, no Ja. Even with Ja, I don't really think they're a serious title contender. Kings, it's their first year. De'Aaron Fox he's been out of his mind, him and Sabonis this year. And then it's like you kind of have in my opinion, the Suns and the Clippers, if healthy.
I feel like Suns, Clippers, Warriors, and Lakers.
And it all depends on health because they've all been
Yeah.
pretty mediocre this whole season. The Lakers
Right.
have been terrible.
It's gonna be one of those 4 teams that plays in the finals this year.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're the most veteran squad. They have
Yeah.
all the experience in the finals and deep playoff runs.
Yeah.
The crazy thing with the Suns though is like KD's not gonna. When he comes back, it's probably gonna be for the first round of the playoffs. So he'll have played 3 or 4 games with this Suns team, and now like he comes in. They've been struggling. They're 5-5 in their last 10, 38 and 33. But it's like, as great as KD is, are they going to be able to mesh right away and just dominate and make a run through the West? Even though the West isn't that great this year, it's like, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be as easy.
I think so. I think like there's like a few players like that you can just like plug on different teams, no matter the system, no matter how much chemistry they have, and like they would work. Like Steph would work anywhere.
Right.
Kevin Durant would work
Yeah.
anywhere. I think Kyrie honestly would work anywhere. Of just like, all right, I need 25.
No,
Go score
yeah,
the ball. You know what I'm
absolutely.
saying?
Right.
Like, he could be a 6 man. He could be the main option. He could be your second option. It doesn't matter. Honestly, it would probably be those 3. I don't know if there's anyone else that you can literally. I mean, and Klay Thompson, I think, is another guy that you could drop on any team, and like he's a 3-and-D guy. He's gonna be a great utility. Because
No,
everyone,
I think even you said, even like during the, like before the season started, I mean, Harden just got placed into Philadelphia, and
But
you
I'm-
said he's going to be like an all NBA guy.
yeah, but I'm talking about like fit, right? So like Harden wouldn't fit on every team. Like Harden would not go and fit in Dallas. I feel like with like Luka and Kyrie right now. Like Harden wouldn't. If you dropped Harden on the Suns with Chris Paul and Devin Booker, I don't think it would work because like Harden's ball dominant. Like he needs the ball. Like the reason him and Embiid work because Embiid's a post.
Right.
So it's like Embiid like he gets the ball in his spot. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he has to get to his spot. He's
Right.
not really creating. Harden is like a LeBron to me. Like he needs the ball, right?
Right. He is the system.
Yeah, like Steph, Steph can play off the ball the entire game,
Right.
and he's gonna do what he does. So like that's why like bro, it's like fit and chemistry is huge with like a lot of these teams. That's why they don't fucking work. That's why I don't think the Grizzlies will ever really win because like I don't think that young core gets it. You know, especially with Ja, Dylan Brooks, and Desmond Bain and Jaren
Jackson.
Jackson. I don't think they'll as long as these guys are still like fringe prime, the Kawhi, Paul George, Jokic, LeBron, AD. I don't think that team gets past any of them.
Yeah, I could definitely see that outside of injury, obviously.
Yeah, of course. Everyone healthy, right? Like, I'm
Right.
just saying, yeah.
I
with,
think
with good health.
I think with the Suns situation, I think their best advantage would to be finishing out the season strong and staying out of the play-in. Because obviously with the teams having the play-in, they'll have a couple days to start meshing together before that first round starts. And Katie will have a chance to kind of get reacclimated to the team after the injury. But other than that, like you said, the first four through 8 seeds are really the main chunk of teams that you'll see competing for the championship in the West, at least.
Yeah.
In the East, though, I think it's kind of like 1 through 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Sixers,
the
Bucks,
Celtics have been
Celtics.
playing like shit
Right.
for a while now. They
Yeah,
haven't been very good.
But they're gonna win.
Marcus
like,
Smart has been horrible.
I'm
I
saying
think
you match the Celtics up like against the Knicks,
The
against the
Heat.
Hawks, against the Heat.
They're winning.
the
They're
Heat.
gonna win.
I'd see.
The Heat
I
are a
think they
little
win. I think they
scary,
win,
but-
but I don't think they win as easily as I think a lot of people would think they would. And I think that the Bucks are still the best team in the East, because at the end of the day, I want Giannis over any of those guys in
And
the
Drew
playoffs.
Holiday in middle.
And Drew Holiday, bro.
Brook Lopez is having a good year defensively.
Dude, Drew Holiday, Brook Lopez is the defensive player of the year favorite this year, and Drew Holiday doesn't have odds, but I think he's the best perimeter guard in the league. I don't even think it's really close right now. Him and probably OG.
Is Lopez the
He's the
leader?
front runner as far as like the odds go.
For
Yeah,
what?
the
For
defensive player of the
block-
year, Brook Lopez.
Block shots, right?
It's crazy. He's been really, really good this year.
I thought Jaren Jackson Jr. would be still at the top of that list.
Yeah, he's good. I don't know. I feel like just the whole Grizzlies team in general, like they just don't
I
move
don't
me
like
at
that
all.
the defensive player of the year award is like
It's always big man. You don't like that, right?
It's literally just the
I don't-
block
Outside of
shot
Yeah, I
last
don't
year?
like it's just like block shots. It's like, but that doesn't mean you could be a good shot blocker, but you could be terrible post defender. You could be terrible like in help defense. You could be terrible in anticipation. You know what I mean? But like
Yeah.
you're 7 foot and you're like a good shot blocker. You have good timing, right? Like you
Right.
beat people at
Or you
the
just
rim.
have the best reach in the NBA, the longest
Right.
reach in the NBA.
It's like I
mean,
wonder how like what is his blocks to foul ratio? I'm sure that's a statistic you can find somewhere because like that's a big thing. Like yeah, if a guy's blocking a lot of shots, if he's fouling the same amount as the block shots,
right.
it might not be worth it because you're giving up 2 free throws for every block.
Yeah, well, I mean, if we're talking about when we go into advanced analytics, I think the defensive rating is what kind of puts all of it together in like one conglomerate number, which makes it easier. But obviously, you can't always go off of that because it gets skewed with just outlier games where somebody has like a 6-block game, like some wild one, and it jumps that number up to a wild number, you know?
Yeah, I feel like it should be. I feel like defensive player of the year should be also like incorporated with shooting percentage against certain guys, right? Like not steals and blocks, but like if on average for the year the guy shoots 21% against a wing defender, he might not get the blocks or the shots, but he's fucking doing his job, you know? Like
Right.
Brook Lopez could give up 30 and have 4 blocks, and it helps him.
Right.
You know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
Joel Embiid would give Brook Lopez 35,
Mm-hmm.
and he could have 4 blocks on fucking Tyrese Maxey going to the basket, and now that helps his defensive player of the year odds.
Yeah.
I think
yeah,
that's
no,
kind
I
of
know.
ridiculous.
Yeah. So
When's the last time a wing defender?
last year,
Oh, right.
Who got
Marcus
it?
Smart won it
Marcus
last
Smart,
year,
right.
but that was the first time in a long time.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking Marcus Smart.
Yeah.
Like he didn't.
and he
come to
fell
mind.
off.
He
He's
didn't come
not.
to mind with
He's
that.
been bad defensively this year.
Really?
He just also can't stay healthy. So,
Yeah.
With that being said, who do you guys think is like your top 3 contenders this year? Like in order, like the top. I would say top 3. Do you think there's 5 teams that really are contending?
I think there is 5.
All right, so
I think there's 5 because the West is wide open.
I do think the West is very wide open.
Yeah, I would say the 2 in the East. No, I would say there's 6. I'd say there's about 3. I'm not gonna. The Celtics went to the finals last year. The Celtics can beat the Bucks. They proved that they can beat
I
them.
would put the Celtics in my top 5. Yeah,
Well, and I'm gonna put the Sixers in there
I
because
would
of how
too.
hot
I would
they
put
are.
those 3 in.
And the Bucks.
Those 3 from the East. That is no. It's
Yeah, he
3.
said
Yeah.
before 2, right? Didn't he say 2 before?
Bucks. It's the Bucks and are the 1 seed. The Celtics are the 2 seed. Sixers.
Yeah,
are
yeah,
3
yeah.
seed.
You
Right, so
said
those
three,
are the 3 in the East, and then in the West, it's probably
think it's-
like you said, those 4 or 5 teams.
Those 4. Because I can't.
I could see a few of those teams going to the finals, but I don't see them. I don't see them winning the finals.
I
if
can't
that
see the
makes
Nuggets
sense.
going to the finals.
No, I don't. I
can't
don't
see
even think the
Jokic
Nuggets would be
winning.
on my list. But like, if the Lakers made a miracle run and went to the finals versus the Bucks, I just don't see it. I don't think they could pull it off.
No, I don't think they could beat the Bucks, but I think
The Warriors are like 7 and like 30 on the road this year, so I don't like. I'm just counting them out. Like I don't see it with the Warriors.
I don't know. I wouldn't.
Bro, their away record is so bad.
Yeah, and they
but
really
like-
have no like inside defensive presence,
just
especially
have
if you go up
none-
against a team in the East
But
where
this is
like Giannis
actually
is
an
basically
interesting
running
point.
down the lane. You have Embiid.
Bill Simmons was talking about this like in like the mid to late 2010s. It was really a small ball era, but now if you notice, a lot of the best players in basketball again is Joel Embiid, center, Jokic, Giannis. Like these are all big men, and it's like if you have a dominant big man, you can really take advantage of a lot of teams now because teams like the Warriors just can't really compete with it. Like
Well, I think they got
Sabonis is completely. Him and Fox have completely transformed the Kings.
Yeah, I think they kind of got screwed with the like not really going out and trying to get a big man because they got gifted basically James Wiseman. That didn't work out, so I think they kind of like screwed themselves down the line.
Yeah.
And obviously overpaying. I think they overpaid for Draymond Green. Obviously they extended their main core, but it just made it tough for them to compete with teams like you said with bigs.
Yeah, I mean, Embiid and Jokic have had like a run for the past 3 years now where they've just been just killing it.
Yeah.
Even the Suns, Ayton solid. Then you go to the Kings, you got Sabonis, Jaren Jackson Jr., Steven Adams. That's a great duo for them. Evan Mobley and Jared Allen.
Zubats on the Clips.
Yeah, he's tough. Bam and for the Heat.
Yeah.
It's just like a lot of these the best teams right now have good centers.
Yeah.
And the Warriors are getting kind of exposed in that area right now. But their away record is just...
And I just think, I mean, playoffs and regular season is 2 different seasons. And bigs in the playoffs for the last 20 years are usually pretty fucking irrelevant.
Yeah, but I don't
Like,
think
when was
those
the last
two...
time? When was the last time a big outside of Giannis, because I don't think he's a big, has taken the team to a championship since Tim Duncan?
You haven't really seen one, but I think this year could be... I think the Sixers could make that run.
Yeah, I was gonna say KG, but
Embiid's playing like the best player
kind
in
of
the
like a
world
group
right
effort
Yeah.
over there. So
now.
And I
Embiid,
think
if
KG
anyone's gonna
was
do it,
second.
it's gonna be Embiid now.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know, because like when push comes to shove, like in the playoffs, they let you play a little bit harder, a little more physicality. You're not gonna get as many foul calls down low. Teams are gonna collapse, right? Like teams are really gonna pinch the post and dig, so you're not gonna be able to get 38 and shoot 16 interior shots. So I don't know. It just doesn't. To me, it just doesn't. It hasn't worked since Tim Duncan, and that was like in a perfect system. And you still had Kawhi, Tony Parker, Danny Green, Ginobili, and then before that was what? Shaq. Every single finals has been dominated by, and point guards outside of Steph.
Oh yeah, the point guards is like the most like outside of him and like Isaiah Thomas. Like
That's what I'm saying. They haven't won either. So it's usually like a dominant
really-
wing defense, like
Yep.
a guy that can play both sides of the ball and is usually like the main guy. Tatum, Kevin Durant, LeBron, Kawhi, Kobe.
Even Jimmy Butler. I mean, he led the
Yeah, Jimmy
Heat
Butler
to the
went
finals like 3 years ago.
KD taking the Thunder.
Yeah.
What do you think would be the most? I mean, not entertaining, because obviously almost any finals is entertaining. But what do you think is the most likely matchup to go 7 games in the NBA Finals?
I would say I think it's gonna be the Suns and the Bucks again.
I kind of
Well,
agree.
is that your finals matchup, or like I'm just saying out of any combination for all the playoff teams, which one do you think is most likely to go 7 games?
I think that
the
could
one?
go 7 games.
Really, I think Giannis kind of would close that one out in 5 or 6.
Here, my reasoning for that is like if the Suns can put together a string of games to go to the finals, that means that Kevin Durant and Booker and Chris Paul, they figured something out together. So if they get that far and they can figure out how to play together and like get some chemistry going, I think they can hang with anyone.
Yeah.
Just too much talent at that point. But I think I would take the Bucks to win, probably in 6 or 7.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think it'd be a good series. KD healthy.
Hopefully, man. Although he sucked last year healthy. Me and Blaze saw him in person. One of the worst games I've ever seen him play.
Yeah, I was thinking Philly, LA, I feel like would be one that would be so tight. It would be back and forth every single game, and it would go to Game 7.
Which LA?
The Lakers. I don't think the Clippers can make it to the finals.
I don't think the Lakers can make it to the finals.
I think they have a better chance.
It's just
than the
too much
Clippers.
like luck. Like, bro, like they just can't stay on the court. Like the odds of like LeBron and AD staying on the court together for like a whole playoff run just seems like like it's impossible at this point. This dude AD can't stay on the court. LeBron, the past few years, I mean, he's getting up there. He hasn't been able to put it together. And if they can both get healthy, I could see anything happen. With D'Lo, Austin Reeves is playing great.
You saw they put that hour-long highlight reel. The NBA put it up on their YouTube.
No,
It's an hour-long highlight reel of just Austin Reeves.
Really?
It was the most ridiculous. I didn't watch it, but it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Why is he getting an hour-long highlight reel?
it came out today that he's seeking like he's going to
4 years,
command
$50
a
million.
4-year, $50 million
Caruso.
contract.
Yeah.
2.0.
Yeah, basically.
It is crazy. Him and Caruso are like,
I
I'm
think
a
he's
hu-
way more skilled than Caruso.
Yeah,
But
but
I think
I'm
Caruso's better defensively.
a
Yeah,
huge
absolutely.
fan of Caruso, bro. What he does defensively is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me see. What else did I have in here?
I think a big thing for the Lakers now is that they got exactly what LeBron needs to kind of make a run in the playoffs.
Yeah.
A lot of 3-and-D guys.
Yeah. That's what he's.
Vanderbilt looked huge for them when he first
Vanderbilt's
arrived.
good, yeah. Vanderbilt's good. Malik Beasley's good.
Yeah. Lonnie Walker is gonna. He's still in. Is he still injured? Or did he just get knocked down the depth chart?
I'm not sure.
He was kind of like one of their only guys before the trade deadline, but obviously just another body who can help out.
Yeah, absolutely.
You want to talk about that AD card
Yeah,
going from 1.2
we could
million
talk
to
about
like
it,
100K,
but bro, like,
whatever it was.
it's not. I don't think as. I'm not moved by it really because of the way the card. Like during COVID, when cards got hot, I got into it a little bit. And I have a decent collection, but like during peak COVID, like that summer 2020, summer 2021, cards were up here in value. I mean, an RJ Barrett graded 10, like his base card, was like $250. Now you can get that shit for 20. Obviously, his play hasn't really taken that next step. But I mean, a guy like if a guy had a run in the bubble, their card shot up. I think Karis LeVert, I think his rookie card was going for like 400 at some point because he had that great stretch. Wow. Now you could probably get that shit for like $15. Obviously, a guy like AD is different, but the card market is kind of like the economy these days. That shit's just down. So it really depends on where you get in. Unless you've got like a LeBron rookie auto, that's like one of two.
Yeah.
I feel like the value is just not there. But
Yeah, it did get oversaturated.
yeah. Also that, but it's just like the way everything works, bro. It's like the hype is there. Gary Vee started that shit. He was pushing that shit, pumping it. Like there were times, bro, when COVID started in like April, if you had bought, you could have gotten a Luka rookie base 10 for like $100. By the end of the summer, that same exact year, post bubble when he was going off, that same card was selling for like $1,500. So there were dudes who spent $1,000. They bought 10 Luka PSA 10s, and then all of a sudden, 6 months later, each card's worth $1,500, and they just caked out.
Wow.
But I think it'll come back. I think the card market will come back. But right now, I mean, there's still money in it, but it's a lot harder.
Yeah.
Kara's friend's father just was gifted 25 unopened boxes of I believe it was all baseball cards from 89 to 92.
Wow.
It depends on the year with those because baseball cards had a time where they were super unvaluable because they were just giving them out like so they were just overprinting everything.
Yeah.
So there's like a time period where like
I think that's actually the time period.
probably.
But if you get some like mint rookie cards, because all of them are still sealed, like they haven't even been opened, and he's contemplating whether he should open them up and look for like rookie cards that have a lot of value, or just
he should
sell a box for $150.
Yeah. He
'Cause
should
he got it
find
for
the
free.
year. He should find the year and see what rookies you could possibly get and then go from there with that.
Yeah, that was after Barry Bonds, right? Would Barry Bonds come in like
87.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 89. I don't know.
Yeah.
Randy Johnson,
Clemens.
Randy Johnson, Kurt Schilling maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I got a few little games we could play.
When did
that
Ricky
I was
Henderson
thinking
come?
up.
Who?
Ricky Henderson.
Oh yeah.
I think so. I may be wrong about that.
I feel like he played before there. I
I
feel like he'd been in the league.
I think he's like you're right. I think he might be like 85.
Yeah. Because he was, what, on the Athletics first?
Yeah, he was on the Athletics for a long time.
Yeah.
Ricky Henderson. 79 he came in. 79. He played till 2003. He played for 24 years. That's
crazy, bro.
Fucking insane.
All right, I got a game we could play.
All right, what we got?
So this one's Hall of Fame or not. So I'm going to give you guys an NBA player currently still playing, and you're going to tell me if you think that they belong in the Hall of Fame or not. And once I say their name, I'm going to give you like a little bit of like their statistics just to like brush and.
And are you saying like if they got hurt and had to retire today, are they a Hall of Fame? Or are you saying?
Yeah, I
do
mean
think they
everyone
will
I'm going to
eventually
give you
be?
is like towards the end of their career.
Oh, okay.
So that's not going to really matter. So the first guy is Andre Iguodala, who we talked about earlier. So he's only a one-time All-Star, 4-time NBA champ. I believe he has a gold medal.
Yeah, he does.
Team USA.
2012.
And he's a Finals MVP. But his career averages are 11.3 points per game, 4.9 rebounds, 4.2 assists.
No shot.
I don't think he deserves it, but I could definitely see him getting in.
Yeah.
I think so. I think he does get in because it obviously encompasses your entire career. Like, obviously takes into account the Olympics, NBA. I don't know. I don't remember what he did in college, but
I mean, he was really good on Sixers.
yeah, doesn't he? Did he win a slam dunk competition?
He might have, but that doesn't really move the needle for me with anything.
Yeah, I don't think he.
I personally, I don't think he should be a Hall of Famer, but I do think the NBA the basketball kind of has lower standards as opposed to like the MLB. I think he might get in because of the 4 rings. He was a crucial part of 3 of those teams. He has only the one-time All-Star, but I mean, dude's been playing for a long time. So I think he gets in. I don't know if he necessarily deserves to be an All-Star, though.
Yeah.
But that's besides the point. Next is Kyle Lowry. So a 6-time All-Star,
Hell no, you don't even have to. waste your time.
2019
Hell
NBA
no.
champ.
Isn't he the Raptors' all-time leading scorer?
Probably. And he's like top 10 in threes, I think, all time too, or top 15.
Yeah, bro. I mean, he's been an All-NBA player.
NBA champ.
He's been around for a while. I mean,
He's not an all. No.
But
Hell no.
When was he drafted?
If Kyle Lowry gets into the Hall of Fame, bro, everyone should be a Hall of Famer.
I think
He
it might
drafted
be
in
close.
08, right? Or
What'd
am I
you
overshooting it? When was he drafted?
say? Like 08 or something?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Maybe a little later. I don't know. All right, I got one more guy.
Gilbert Arenas.
I don't-
should be in
I
the
don't
Hall
think
of
so.
Fame If Kyle Lowry gets in.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, but their careers are completely different.
I'm just saying.
Doesn't matter. As a basketball
as a
player,
basketball
Doesn't
Yeah.
Kyle
player,
Lowry have a gold medal as well?
I don't care if he has 4 gold medals. He's not a Hall of Famer.
If he does,
know,
it
bro.
was the 2016. If he has one.
Yeah, he probably didn't play.
All right. Last is Kevin Love.
Yes.
5-time All-Star, 2016 NBA champ, career averages of 17 points per game, 10.4 rebounds, 2.3 assists.
Yeah, and 2
Yeah.
gold medals, right?
Yeah.
I think he had 2012 and 2016.
Yeah.
He might have 2.
He might have been on the 08 shit too.
No, because I think
He was supposed to be on this one too, and then he something happened where he got. I don't know if he left or he got. I think he left because he was I'm just not good enough right
he
now.
was arguably the best power forward in the league for like a 4 or 5 year stretch. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like Kyle Lowry was never even a top 5, top 10 point guard, fringe top 10.
He was probably top 10 for a few years there,
Fringe.
bro. They had a few good runs.
Kyle Lowry, top 10.
Bro, Kyle Lowry's
point guard?
fringe. I would say no, but I think I wouldn't be surprised if Kyle Lowry got in.
No, I'm saying fringe top 10. I don't think he's remotely.
I'm
close
saying
to a
I think
Hall of
he was a
Famer.
top 10 point guard for a few years, and I think he's a fringe Hall of Famer. That's just my point of view.
He's probably a top 10 point guard like 2 years.
I would say Kevin Love also.
I would say Kevin Love. Yeah, I think he gets in.
And then I'm gonna throw.
I
out one
would say no
more.
to Kyle Lowry.
This guy's not really. I hope he's not towards the end of his career. Paul George, 8-time All-Star, 6-time All-NBA, career averages of 20 points, 20.6 points per game, 6.4 rebounds, 3.7 assists.
No. Not yet. It's too hard. It's too. He hasn't done anything.
Yeah, I agree. He really hasn't
I agree.
done anything.
I agree.
If, like you said,
But
if
I do
Gilbert
think-
Arenas isn't getting in, he's not getting in.
True, but I mean, I'd have to look up Gilbert Arenas.
Is T-Mac? T-Mac's in?
I think so.
I don't know.
Like, T-Mac is a better version of Paul George to me.
Right.
You know, they're like very similar style players. Vince Carter.
Vince Carter, absolutely. Vince Carter has to be a Hall
I'm
of Famer.
saying.
Well,
I don't know if he's in the Hall of Fame right now, but
I don't
he
think-
has
Well,
to.
no,
be.
he's not. I think you have to
Qualified
wait
yet.
until like 5 years after you
Yeah.
retire.
T-Mac's in the Hall of Fame.
Which I think is
Okay.
stupid because I think every sport does that. Like you have to wait a certain amount of years after
But
you
hold up,
retire
hold
to be
up,
in.
hold up.
Like guys like Brady, Manning, Kobe, LeBron. Like the second they retire, they should have the fucking ceremony.
Right.
If Paul George isn't a Hall of Famer, but Tracy McGrady is. Tracy McGrady is a 7-time All-Star. Paul George is an 8-time All-Star. He averages less points per game, less rebounds per game,
Yeah, but
and I think
He
assists
also
per game.
played
as
a
well.
lot
But
towards
what
the
has
end of his-
T-Mac won?
yeah, but that's so.
T-Mac hasn't won anything though.
Yeah, but
So if we're
that's-
gonna judge Paul George for not winning
No,
anything, I
you
don't think we
can't
could.
compare
Does he have a
Paul
scoring
George and
title?
T-Mac.
Who?
T-Mac.
I don't think so. It doesn't say it.
You can't compare Paul George and T-Mac. T-Mac played like 6 years on the bottom half of his career with like the Spurs and the Knicks, where like he barely played.
Yeah.
Let's do his
Played, like,
averages from
30
his prime.
He
But
probably
still
played like
did.
30
he
games.
Still did. Either way, he's a 7-time All-Star. Paul George's career isn't even over. He's an 8-time All-Star.
Yeah, but I don't. What does that mean?
I don't know, but
All-Stars
neither of
don't-
them have won anything. So it's like, what is it? With the
But I'm
T-Mac
saying
has
you
never
watch
won
you
anything in
watch
his career.
basketball though, right?
But
Like,
Paul George is great.
Yeah, he's
I just
ve-
like I just
he's
I,
very
I
good. I wouldn't
understand
call
like
him
your
great.
point, but at the same time, I don't see what
I'm just saying.
I don't
like,
see what T-Mac has done to deserve Hall of Fame over Paul George outside of like the eye test. Like Paul,
Let's pull up the stats right here. How many years did T-Mac average 30? T-Mac averaged
Once.
32 in 2003.
he only did it once though.
In 2003.
Yes, that's insane. We're
And
about
then
to talk about that shit later.
He led the league in scoring 2 years in a row. He had a stretch of 27, 26, 32, 28, 26, 24, 25. That's pretty ridiculous. In
It
that
is,
era,
but I'm not
01
saying
to
he's not.
08,
I'm not saying he's not a Hall of Famer. But I'm saying if we're gonna hold him to standards, I think that Paul George's career that's not even over. I think by the time it's all said and done, I think his resume will be as good as T-Mac's, and I think he'll be a Hall of Famer.
I think you have to put era into play. You brought up the stat earlier. There's
I know.
40 guys averaging 20 points per game. So
Yes,
Paul
but
George
at the
averaging
same time,
20
Paul
is
George
not
has
that
been an
impressive.
All NBA guy for like the past like 5-6 years. In the last 10 years, he's been in the mix for
How
All
many
NBA.
All NBAs does he have?
Paul George?
Yeah. He has not been All NBA the past 5-6 years.
No, I said he's been in the mix throughout the last 10 years. He's been in the mix.
I feel like he had like 2 good years in Indiana.
He's
and
a
then
6-time All NBA player and a 4-time member of the All Defensive Team.
Yeah. I think he had 2 really good years in Indiana, and I think he had a really good year in OKC.
But he's still a 6-time All NBA.
Which teams?
That doesn't say which years. It
No.
matters that
I'm
he
saying
was
All NBA
NBA.
third team, second team, first team.
I don't know.
It says, right?
I don't think it does.
And how many All NBAs does T-Mac have?
It didn't even say. T-Mac All NBA.
And did they?
Seven.
Another thing is like, did they go in as 2s or 3s? 'Cause they're both kind of in that middle area. I know T-Mac
Paul
is more
George
of
is
a
small
2.
forward.
Right, but Paul
Paul
George,
George
is
is
6'8",
small forward,
and he
I
was
mean.
listed as a 2 when he was in Indiana.
Yeah. So T-Mac has
And also, I
7
think
All-NBAs.
Paul George is like I think he's a 4-time All Defense guy. Like he's a great 2-way player as well. So I just
no, he's a
think-
good 2-way, but Paul George, I don't think gets another All NBA for the rest of his career. I don't think so. He's not going to get one over Giannis. He's not going to
Maybe
get one
not.
over Tatum, Luka. Who are the other forwards?
No, Luka's guard.
Luka's guard.
KD.
KD doesn't play enough. KD and LeBron, like this year, they're not gonna make it because
Yeah.
they're not gonna meet the games.
Hmm.
Randall's gonna make his second All NBA this year.
Yeah.
He's gonna be third team.
Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler, but he's another guy who's like so fringe every year with the games.
Right.
Like I would take Jimmy over Paul George.
I agree, but I think Jimmy Butler will be a Hall of Fame player.
I think Sabonis is.
I think like we're
Sabonis
over.
is
I
gonna
think
get
we're
one.
you're holding the basketball Hall of Fame is the easiest Hall of Fame to get into out of all the sports. They put
Yeah.
a lot of guys in there that shouldn't get in there.
Yeah.
And I think I think Jimmy Butler will be a Hall of Famer.
Who do you think shouldn't be in there?
I mean, if we had a list, I could go over it. But they're notoriously known for being the easiest Hall of Fame to get into.
Yeah, I mean the football. I think football and baseball.
Baseball is
obviously.
by far, I think, the hardest.
You think?
Bro, they don't let anyone in.
No, I mean a lot of the lists that
They don't
people
fucking
get
let
passed over,
anyone
are
in.
like the steroid era people. A lot of those people are getting passed over.
Yeah.
So
I
it
just
just
don't. How do you
saturates
have
the
a Hall of
list.
Fame if you're? How do you have a baseball Hall of Fame without fucking Barry Bonds?
Yeah, it's so
It is
stupid.
ridiculous.
How do you have one without Pete
Clemens-
Rose?
Clemens
That
too,
that
right?
one makes no
Huh?
sense.
Clemens
to me.
isn't in it either.
Clemens, A-Rod, Mark McGuire,
Sosa.
Sosa, Canseco.
But it's like, bro, the worst one is Pete Rose because he didn't do steroids. He bet on himself.
Yeah.
4,000 hits and they banned his. It doesn't make any
Yeah, that's
fucking
silly.
sense at
Well,
all.
nobody from the 1919 White Sox that cheated when they bet on, like they like basically rigged the World Series or whatever. None of those guys are in. Shoeless Joe Jackson's not in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it sucks. That's so stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the next thing we could talk about, you were kind of using what I brought up earlier against me, which makes sense, but just talking about like how just the NBA has changed in terms of like offense. Because I was listening to Bill Simmons the other day and he was talking about this and I looked it up. So the 10 highest team ratings in like for offensive the 10 highest offensive rated teams for single season, the top 10 are all from 2021 and on. This year, the Kings have the highest offensive rating of all time. I think the second one is like the 2021 Nets. So I think that may be first year with KD and Kyrie. And then the more you look into it, it just gets crazier. So this year, there are 6 players in the league averaging 30 points per game, and there are 43 averaging 20 points per game. If you want to even look deeper into that, RJ Barrett, I think, is 44, and he's at 19.8.
Wow.
So there's a handful of guys almost right there as well. And then if you just go back to the 2012-2013 season, there were 0 30-point per game scorers, and there was 9 dudes that had averaged 20 points per game. So I guess like what they were talking about, and I wanted to ask you guys is like, how many points per game do you think like I mean I know they could get into the 40s now, Kobe or MJ, because they both averaged over 35, right?
Yeah.
I know Kobe did.
Jordan averaged 37 and
Kobe was like
averaged
35 and a half.
35.6, yeah.
So it's like, what do you think they could get up to now if in today's game? Because it's just different. The referees, I mean, bro, the refs in the NBA.
With Jordan and Kobe, how much?
It's impossible to watch games now with all the
Dude, and
whistles.
the worst part about it is like dudes are like Fred was vocal about it last 2
Yeah.
weeks ago. He was
How
like,
bad they
this
go.
dude is fucking terrible. He's like, I'll take the fine. This dude is fucking terrible. And they are terrible. The inconsistency in the NBA refereeing is insane to me. One game, a dude will get brushed by and they're calling a foul. And then the next game you're watching and dudes are getting mauled and they're not calling it.
Yeah.
And it's like they wonder why all these guys are complaining is because there's just no consistency. And, bro, just a lot of these refs are just trash. Like,
Yeah.
they're just not good. But I think in today's game, bro, with the way majority of the time they're giving ticky-tack fouls, Kobe and Jordan would just live at the line.
I think Jordan would average 40.
What do you think they could? What do you think the highest they could get? Do you think he can get to like 42?
I don't know. I think
I
like
mean,
he would like really have to try to do it though.
Like what
Like
Embiid's
Jordan
doing this
probably
year.
would do it.
I think he would. I think him and Kobe would both. They're the two types of dudes who would have tried their hardest to
I
do
think
something
Miami
like that.
Heat LeBron could average 40 in today's game. Like
Yeah.
a young LeBron would average 40. Like he could go, like we watched it where when he broke the scoring record.
I think. I mean, a lot of players would. I think. A 2012 Melo would do it in today's game.
30, yeah, probably be high 30s.
Yeah, I mean, we were just talking before T-Mac, Gilbert Arenas, all those early 2000 scores. AI, Shaq.
Yeah.
All
It would've
the-
been
all these
fun
guys
to
would
watch some of
average.
those dudes play today. Like, bro, imagine why Allen Iverson in today's game.
Crazy. I was watching JJ Redick's podcast, and obviously when he had Dame on, and when Dame had 70, 71,
Yeah.
Dame was talking about, because JJ asked him, he's like, do you think anyone will ever score 100? And Dame was like, I don't know if anyone will score 100, but he goes, I missed a few shots, a few threes that rimmed in and out. He goes, I shot 13 for 24 from 3. So he's like, I could have made a few threes. He goes, I had 4 layups blocked at the rim, and I was a little tired, and I got lazy on a few shots. He goes, if I make those shots, I'm close to 90, and that's in
Regulation.
Regulation.
No overtime,
He
yeah.
goes, if I go to overtime or 2 overtimes, he goes, I probably would have had 100 if I make those shots, and they don't rim in and out, and I don't get lazy. So and that's Dame talking about that. So
Yeah, I think especially with the way the game's going, like you're seeing these 70-point games. Like a guy like Julius Randle last night, 57. I would have never guessed that and he only had like 5 points in the fourth quarter. He was just so fucking tired. But
Dame said he thinks Steph could score 100.
see I think someone could do it. I think someone could score 100, but
You
a
have
lot
to
of
hit a lot of threes.
a lot of the things that the reasons why I feel like we haven't seen as many high scoring games is like guys like Steph and Clay, they've had those 60-point games, but they've done it so efficiently, and the Warriors were up by so much that they barely played the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Like Steve Kerr took Clay out when he had those 60 points. There was plenty of time left.
Yeah,
Would he have gotten 100? Probably not, but he could have probably flirted with 80.
Yeah, he probably could have hit 4 or 5 more threes.
Yeah.
The way he was shooting it. So now you're looking at 72, 75 points for Klay Thompson.
Which is probably another reason why it'd be tough for. I mean, obviously everybody talks about Jordan and Kobe's mentality, like, oh, like I wouldn't be taken out of a game or rest or anything, but like that's just the culture in today's game. I mean, people just sit out a bunch of times. They get taken out early in games where their team is up, and people don't risk injury in the league now. So it makes it tough for people to score 100 or average more than 35 a game.
The cool thing is you've seen dudes like you probably saw it. Anthony Edwards. They asked him. I think it was like during the All-Star weekend. They were like, "What would you change about today's game?" And he brought that up. He was like, "The only thing I would change is dudes not playing every night."
Yeah.
Because you never know when someone comes to the arena, they want to see their favorite player. They want to see LeBron. They want to see Giannis, and you're just resting because, granted, some of those guys really are injured, and they have to sit out. But if you're just taking rest for like load management, he's like, bro, like these people pay their hard-earned money to come see you play basketball.
That Jimmy Butler.
They're the reason, They're the reason why we have all this money, this lifestyle that we live. And I think I saw Draymond agree with it on his podcast. But it's true. It's like I know MJ was like quoted, I think, for saying something. He's like, yeah, I never want to take a game off because there's kids who are coming to see me, and that could be the only chance they get to see me play basketball.
Yeah, Kobe said that.
Yeah. Or maybe it was him. I don't know.
I think it was Kobe.
I know Kobe said that at some point.
They both
because he said, like, I know this dad worked all week, to get these tickets for
bro.
his
It
kids
was
to
like
come
later
see
in the
me.
years, Kobe. It was like 2012, 2013. He said that when like it was big for the Spurs when they were like doing a lot of like rest days
Load
for
management.
Ginobili, Parker, and Duncan.
Yeah, bro. It's depending on where you live, it's really expensive to go to an NBA game. Like if you're like in Ohio or like you're going to a Cavs game, I know those games are like they have tickets for like $15. But bro, if you're going to MSG to try and see the Knicks play, at minimum before fees, you're paying $220, and you're not even getting a good seat. And then it's like if you got to take the train or public transportation in, that's another $20-$30 if you're taking the train. Then if you want to get a beer, it's another $12. If you want to get popcorn for your kid, that's another $10. It's like all of a sudden you're spending $400 for just
it's even
per
more,
person.
Exactly.
I'm saying per person. If you take a
more than
family
that.
of 4, you're spending almost $2,000 to see the Knicks.
Yeah.
The Heat game I went to was $70.
That's a lot for Miami if you think about it.
Really?
It's the Heat, bro. Like I don't know. Like I don't know.
I mean,
$70 is a good amount of money to see a basketball
I feel like for a
game.
ticket in the 100 section.
Oh, I didn't know it was 100.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
$70, $100.
Bro, that's
I was
not
gonna say
bad.
you. I mean, I go to more Ranger games than I do Knick games, and if you're spending $70, your head's touching the ceiling.
That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't go at that point.
You
That's
can't
why,
even
like,
get a Rangers ticket for that much. Huh?
Yeah, no, not after they just made the Eastern Conference Finals. Now
It's crazy, bro.
Yeah, I use TickPick. There's no fees.
Really?
Yeah, TickPick, no fees. What?
you sound like that fucking ad, bro.
Yeah, get us a fucking sponsor.
No, but it's true. I mean, having no fees.
I saw it
Having
on
no
someone-
fees is huge.
Yeah, I saw it on some. Yeah, bro, because those fucking shits be like $25. So like,
Bro,
a
it's-
a $90 ticket turns to $115
It's
plus the
fucking
tax.
crazy.
Like, it's
I
not
know.
$90, but like, yeah, it's like the Heat game. The Knicks tickets like for the same seat was like $135.
Right.
And then I went to the Hawks game the next day, and it went down to $70. They played. I should have went to the Cleveland game because that was when Jake Paul and Floyd Mayweather were about to fight, literally outside of the apartment that
Yeah.
I was in. I could have looked off the balcony and saw the shit happen.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah, it all
dude.
depends on who they're playing. Also, I mean, obviously ticket prices jumped for that reason.
The Knicks and Rangers, it doesn't matter who the fuck they're playing. Those tickets are just fucking
Well, but like if they're
ridiculous.
playing Boston or the Islanders, then the fucking prices jump up another $40
Yeah.
per seat.
Yeah, bro. If the Knicks are playing the Lakers at MSG, the Lakers come to town, minimum tickets before fees, you're probably paying $300
Dude,
for for horrible
if
seats.
if Giannis comes to town, if
Warriors.
Giannis,
Steph,
Jokic, Steph, Luka, if any of these Embiid, if any of these guys come to town, the ticket prices are jumping. It doesn't matter. But even for a shit game, you're going to watch the fucking Hornets. Like you said, you're still paying $130 for a seat.
I think
Oh, no,
even
the
more
Hornets,
probably.
The Hornets, no. The
The
Hornets, you
Knicks
could-
at MSG, bro. Those tickets are.
Oh, well,
If you're
maybe
sitting in
at
like a
MSG.
I'm saying at
MSG.
MSG.
If you're going to
I'm
watch,
saying MSG.
if you're going to like a Hornets game, it's still $130 to sit in like section 212.
Bro,
It's still $130
bro,
bucks.
on Thursday, there's the March Madness. There's 2 games at MSG
Yeah.
on Thursday night. We looked up the tickets because we were like, bro, like it would be cool to go see a game at the Garden for the tournament Sweet 16 game. At minimum before fees per ticket, the cheapest ticket was like $230
Yeah.
In
to see
nosebleeds.
college basketball.
In the nosebleeds.
Yeah, bro. I was like, bro, like, I would love to go, but at the same time, I'm taking the train in. That's $30. I'm getting a drink and some food. I'm spending $400 to go see a college basketball
And they
game for
look
2
this
hours.
big.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like it's
I'd rather
it's
watch it on
crazy.
TV.
Mm-hmm.
It just sucks because like there are so many players who I would love to go see, but it's like, bro, I'm not spending $500 to go see Giannis play.
Yeah, it's not.
I mean, you could go across town to Brooklyn and it's a little bit cheaper.
Well, now, but 4 months ago, no.
Yeah.
4 months ago, you're still spending that same amount of money.
Yeah, it's fucked up, bro. It
And now you got to fucking transfer at Atlantic Terminal.
Yeah. How long have we been going for?
About
37 minutes.
yeah.
Let me see.
What
if I
else
have
we got?
anything else.
I was gonna say, you want to talk about who do you think are good NBA comparisons? Like I commented on this one guy's video. He was talking about Bronny, and he said his NBA player comp, he felt like it was Drew Holiday. And I said no. He reminds me more of like a
Zach Space.
who would you say? Because I said more of like a
Go
young.
on. If he was not LeBron's son, he's not an NBA prospect. Hell
Really, you're still
no.
on that?
Bro, it's
I think Bronny's good. I just
Bro, he's
Drew
a good
Holiday's a
basketball
crazy
player.
comp.
I'm
Yeah.
not, bro. I don't care about the comp, bro. He's not an NBA guy. If Bronny was not LeBron's son, nobody would say he's an NBA guy. I've watched him play multiple times. Bro, he's good. Don't get me wrong. He's a Division I guy. I think he's gonna do well in college. I think he should be a 2 or 3 year guy in college, really develop, and yeah, he might get in the league. If he develops, maybe he grows a little more. Was he 17, 16?
I think he's a senior. I think he's 17.
He's pretty built out now.
Yeah,
I saw
but
a
I'm
picture
saying
of him the
to
other day.
compare him to
So Drew Holiday is crazy.
to-
It's crazy.
bro. To compare him as an NBA
well,
prospect.
at some point, he's gonna get he's gonna get comps.
Of course, but that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Take away LeBron as your father. Nobody is. He's not a 5-star. He wouldn't have been a 5-star.
You know who I think would be a comp for him? I'm not saying he's this good. I'm just saying I think a comp, someone who I watch a lot, Quentin Grimes. Grimes is a solid defender. Bronny's a solid defender. Bronny's gonna be a 3-and-D guy if he makes the league. That's what he's gonna be.
Bronny's like 6'2", 6'3".
I'm saying his style of play. I'm not saying he's
Man,
a.
Quentin Grimes is like a catch and shoot guy.
Yeah,
Bronny
that's
is
what
a
I think
point-
Bronny's gonna be.
No,
Bronny's not gonna be. He's not an
You
NBA
can't be a
point.
3-and-D guy at 6'2".
Yeah, but he's not done growing. He's like 15.
No, he's not.
I think 7. I think
He's
he's
like
just
17.
How tall is he?
He's like 6'2", 6'3".
That's it.
yes.
Oh, he's not an NBA player.
That's what I'm saying.
I
He's
thought he
not
was
a-
like 6'4",
Hell,
6'5".
Even that 6. You know,
If he was
did you see the
6'4",
statistic?
6'5", he could be a Grimes type player.
Maybe.
He's 6'3" and he's 18 years old.
So he's
Oh.
probably 6'2".
Yeah, he's not.
probably
He
6'2".
was a McDonald's All-American
Yeah,
this
Of
year.
course he was.
He's not making a league.
No, he might.
I thought
make
he
the
was
league.
taller. I thought he was taller.
But even at 6'4", so there's 10 people in the league that are 6'1". There is, I think it was 3 people in the league that are 6 foot, and 1 person in the league that's 5'11" or under, and I think that's Jose Alvarado.
he's a dog.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, no,
bro, Bronny is not a 3-and-D guy. If off the ball, he's gonna be a point guard, if anything, and he's gonna be a solid role player backup, and he might get a shot. And he obviously comes from a good background of basketball, so he probably
He plays a great brand of basketball.
That's what I'm saying.
He's a
like
great
solid,
basketball
bro, I think
player.
he's good. Like I think
Yes.
he's like really good. Do I think he could go play in the Big 10 or the Big 12 or the SEC and be a 2-3 year starting point guard for an LSU, for an Ohio State, for a Duke? Yeah, I do think he could. I think he would be a great college basketball player, and he might have to really grind to get into the league. I'm saying take away the title. Now him
I
being
think
LeBron's
unless he
son,
yeah.
he comes in, probably goes one and bro. It depends. If he doesn't do well his freshman year in college, teams aren't playing him. I don't care how good. I don't care who he is.
He'll find a play. He might have to transfer, but he'll play. I
No,
don't think
I'm saying
he's
he'll
gonna
play
I know
in
what you
college. But
mean,
I'm saying
yeah.
he won't get drafted just because he's gonna have to ball out freshman year. Like he's gonna have to go to a Power 5 conference and ball out.
He's not going to. I think that he's gonna go. Well, what is it? He's gonna probably go to USC. That's what I've heard.
Yeah,
That's what I think
I'm
he's
reading
leaning.
it right now. So
If he goes to USC, I don't even think he starts his freshman year. I think he comes off the bench. I think he's a 4-year guy in college.
And the Pac-12 is weak as hell.
yeah, well,
He's just
he's
too
all.
small.
It's also his finalists. The final 3 that he's in the running for is Ohio State, Oregon, and USC. According to
Ohio
Rivals,
State would be
24
cool.
Sports, and ESPN, he's a 4-star recruit with a 88 grade.
Yeah,
And
he's just, I think
he's ranked 28th for all seniors in the country.
Yeah, like and that's to me that's boosted, bro. If his name is Mike Jones, he's not getting those credentials. I don't think he's getting Ohio State either. I don't think he's not a Big Ten. I don't know if he's a Big Ten, maybe, but I think Pac-12 I think would be better suited for him. I think the Pac-12 is the weakest out of the 5, and I think the Pac-12 is weaker than the American also, which is now going to the Big 12 and Big 10. They're distributing over the next 2 years, but
Yeah.
I just
could he
think
go to like a Houston or a UConn? Yeah, I think so. I think I like American Pac-12.
he should come to Hofstra.
Yeah, I'm about to get Speedy on the podcast.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell him to stay at Hofstra.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get him. I met his wife yesterday.
Really?
Yeah,
Dude,
LA.
they're a great team.
Yeah.
That's a great program. They've always been good.
Yeah. Now Patino at not Rutgers,
John's,
St.
St.
John's.
Jude.
Yeah, I was gonna
That's
say
high.
Rutgers.
That's
St.
awesome.
John's.
That's pretty cool.
That's dope.
Yeah, he'll be better than Chris Mullen.
Chris Mullen was a
Awful.
brutal head coach.
Awful.
He had some talent
Great
with
recruiting
Shamar.
class.
Yeah, he had Shamar. He had Justin
Marcus
Simon. Yeah, they had some guys.
Marcus Leved.
He was a fucking terrible. No
who's the
offense
other
to
dude they
Chris
had?
Mullen. He's a legend, but he was a horrible coach.
Who's the other guy they had that was good too? Shamari Pons. They had
They had a good
Marcus
center who
Leved.
went to Texas Tech after. Oh, he was on the team with Jared Culver.
yes,
I forgot
yes.
his name.
Yeah, I forgot his name too. My boy trains him. My boy is.
He playing overseas?
Uh,
He was
the-
good.
the
Like
dude
he
from
was.
Tech- yeah.
he was good.
Yeah, he is playing overseas. Fuck, what's his name? It's gonna bother me. He's skinny dude with the headband.
Yep, he was tough.
Yeah,
he
he's
kind of
good.
reminded me of Jared Allen the way he looked.
A little bit, yeah.
With the headband.
Yeah, he's good.
I think Bronny's just I think everything I see of him, I see he does have the dunks. A lot of his shit is just spot up threes. So that's why to me when I see him like I thought he was a little bit taller. He doesn't really strike me as like some quick shifty point guard. Like he's more of like a I feel like he could play a role on a really good team.
I mean, he's
at the
18.
next
He
level, but
he
I
could
don't
still
see
grow
him
for
being-
another 2 or 3 years.
I think if he grows to 6'5", like a legit 6'5", I think he has a chance of going to the league. But if he's 6'3", bro, he's just even at 6'5", you're undersized in the league.
I mean, bro, to grow 3 inches from 18, like that's a miracle.
2 he would need.
He's probably not 6'3" though.
Bryce is tall as shit though.
Bryce is tall, but
Yeah,
I'm
Bryce
saying
is
like
6'7".
People are saying that. I heard he's gonna transfer. Actually, heard that LeBron just made a big donation to some other school in the area,
Yeah,
and
I
they
don't
want him
know.
to maybe go there so he can like try and be like the star of the team instead of just being a role player on Sierra
Melo's
Canyon.
son
Right.
just transferred to Lehigh.
Really?
Yeah, you guys didn't know that?
No.
No.
Yeah, he's,
I didn't
he's playing
even-
at Lehigh next year. He was at Christ the King, and now he's going to Lehigh. I talked to the Christ the King coach,
I
and
didn't
he was
even-
saying how it was like kind of like hard to coach him. He's like la sitting in the stands, Melo's there. He's he's a 10th grader, which like he's good, but like we play a national schedule, so like he's not where he thinks he is, and he tries to do too much, and then we try to tell him, but then Carmelo's telling him stuff. He was like, it was hard. He's like, he got better as the year went on, as he got a little more mature. But he said his 10th grade year was like really hard. So now he's going to be a junior at Lehigh, and Lehigh is ranked 4th in the country right now.
Really?
Yeah, national.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
we
they're
might have to pop out some games.
their
next
point
year.
guard just went on a visit to VCU. Shooting guard already committed to UConn. Lehigh's loaded, bro. Lehigh's
How long was KJ there for? Just like 1 year
Uh,
or 2?
2.
2?
Yeah.
He graduated there.
No, he went to
He went back-
Salisbury Prep.
Yeah.
Salisbury Prep. where
Tobias
Miles-
did 1
Miles
year
went.
there too, right? And then he went back to Hills West.
Yeah, like 9th or 10th grade. Yeah, he didn't stay there too long.
Yeah,
Want to touch
bro.
on anything else?
I did
Hey,
want to
yo.
do. I wanted to
Look at
do
the
an.
soundboard.
I wanted to do an overrated underrated segment, and I came with a few names, but I couldn't really come with like great ones. Like the one that I really wanted to put was Jordan Poole, because he's been not that great this year. But I wanted to think of a few others, and I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of
Who do you
struggling.
think's better,
Tyrese
Jordan
Maxey?
Poole or Jordan Poole start bench cut. Jordan Poole, Jordan Clarkson, Tyrese Maxey.
I'm starting Tyrese Maxey. I'm benching Jordan Poole, and I'm cutting Jordan Clarkson. And the only reason I say that is because I think that Poole has more upside than Clarkson because he's younger. I like Jordan Clarkson a lot and I think they play like those similar roles. I think Maxey's way better than both of them.
Really?
Yeah, I think he's really good. Yeah, that's a good one. What do you think?
I agree. I mean, the main thing that came to my mind was the same thing, just the age for Jordan Clarkson, because he's been in the league for what, 7 years now?
More than that.
He's probably like what, 28?
Yeah, he's getting up
29?
there, bro. Because he was on that young Lakers team with like Randall, Lonzo, Bi, and
Kuzma.
I think he's probably about 28.
That's what I'm saying. It's 7 years, because he was drafted in probably, 2018?
That's quick. That's crazy how fast. No, it had to be before. Let me look that up. That would be crazy if it was Jordan.
I don't know. I feel like Jordan Clarkson is probably 27.
30.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's been in the league for a
I was-
while.
yeah,
he played with Kobe.
Yeah.
that's
Kobe
true.
retired in 16.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, he got drafted in 15.
Yeah, I mean, to be
He's on a
honest,
team
if-
with Jordan Hill and fucking.
yeah,
all
if you
those
were
guys.
telling me like right now my squad like I needed either Jordan Poole or Jordan Clarkson, I would take Jordan Clarkson.
Yeah.
But if I'm just like building a team, I would go with Jordan Poole. But bro, like the thing is with Poole is like he's got so much talent and he has this crazy shot making. But some of the stuff he does, bro, it's like even guys on the team while it's happening are like, bro, like what
I feel like his
did you just
NFL
do?
comp is Gabe Davis.
That's actually so
Like that's
good.
like a spot on NFL. Like
Like, he has those moments where he's, like, amazing.
I'm saying he had like a really great run. You know, he had a great run. He is a special talent, and then everyone was like, "Oh, he's better than Clay." You know, everyone was like, "Oh, Gabe Davis is like up there with Stephon Diggs. He's like the best number 2 in the league." And then it's
That's
like
nuts,
you
dude.
finally give the guy the pedestal, and it's like, all right, like he is who we kind of thought he was. He's talented, but he's not that guy.
No, not at all. Like Jordan Poole is like he's just severely overpaid now too, because they gave him 130 million.
Yeah, but paying somebody early is probably better than waiting on it and then
It's
him
true, but
actually
that's,
popping
that's
off.
why he got fucking punched. He was probably talking about how he just got paid. Draymond didn't have the contract yet, and he was fucking talking shit. Draymond fucking punched him in the face.
Probably is what it was.
I mean, that's the thing with a team like that, especially the Warriors, bro. It's like bro, you got Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green. Like those are 3 of the best winners we've seen in the last decade.
Yeah.
And
What are
then
you
it's like
paying
you bring
Jordan?
in Jordan Poole.
Yeah.
Yeah, Andrew Wiggins is really good too.
Do you guys know the story with Andrew Wiggins right now?
Apparently, like
I heard that was
his-
like fake.
Yeah, I heard it was fake too.
Really?
But I know what you're talking about.
I
with
heard his
the,
girl actually like tweeted. She was like, "Y'all just believe anything."
Oh, really?
If you
Because-
look at his kids, they look exactly like him.
Yeah.
They look exactly
Well,
like
that
him.
plus and like the guy who was like he was like filming in a McDonald's or whatever, like the timeline that he was giving just didn't match up.
Okay.
Like
Yeah,
they
I
were
don't know.
saying
I
that
just
he
saw- I
was
just
like
saw a
It is a
tweet.
crazy story. I
they were
hope
saying
it's-
like
I
it
hope it's
happened
fake.
when he was in high school, but the kid's only like 7. He was in the league back in 15. So that the timeline didn't match up because the kid would have been born in 2017.
Right. Yeah, I just saw like a quick like little Twitter thing. I was like, yo, if that's true, that's fucking.
Yeah, because didn't who tweeted about it? Like Kendrick Perkins? I think
like,
tweeted about it or
I think
something.
Paul Pierce too. Was
Oh,
like,
Paul
tell me
Pierce,
this shit
yeah.
ain't true. Like Paul
Right?
Pierce,
Yeah.
bro, come on, really?
Dude, he just
I
doesn't.
don't understand
stop.
why
He just
guys
doesn't
like
stop talking.
like that or like would even give that story a platform without having like proof of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
It's like you're Paul Pearson. Like this dude his name is being dragged through the mud with this crazy story. We have no proof that it's real, and you're tweeting about it and giving it like millions of
Yeah,
impressions.
because everyone wants to be first, you know, like we said.
Yep.
Goes with
And
everything.
My boy posted a picture. He was like, you know, if that Andrew Wiggins story is true, and he posted a picture of Chris Benoit.
Damn.
You don't get it? Or
I don't know who that is.
You know who Chris Benoit is?
WWE wrestler that killed his whole family and then committed suicide.
Oh my.
But he also had a lot of like his like move was like a flying headbutt. So he probably had like CTE grade 7.
Well, I watched an interview of them saying that Chris Benoit didn't do it. it was like one of his like close friends, and he said like someone set him up.
Yeah, I think Jericho. I think that was Chris Jericho that was saying it. Like
it
that's
was
like
Chris
that was like his
Jericho.
best friend.
Yeah, he was like, because they were tag team partners. He was like, yo, Chris Benoit didn't do it.
Yeah.
Yo, I got a question for you guys. This is totally unrelated. I was thinking about this the other day, and you brought it up with the CTA shit. If you have a child when you're older, like if you had a kid, would you let them play football?
Yeah.
Or would you have them maybe pick a different sport?
Yeah, he'd be a quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'd let him play football. I'd let him do what he.
Well, that's true.
Play what he
I, of course, if they want to, I'm saying, would you would you be like, yo, you got to play football, or would you just let them pick the sport?
I'm gonna put him in every sport possible, and whichever one he likes, he's playing. I mean, I'm not gonna put him in like fucking bowling or golf, but I mean, if
Golf? Why not golf?
it's expensive as shit.
Is it that much more expensive than anything else?
I mean, in football, what do you pay for? You pay to play. They give you all the equipment.
That's true.
At least I don't have to buy him a bag. I don't have to drive him to tournaments. I don't have to pay for clubs. He breaks a fucking club. Balls are how expensive. Like you're paying $25 for a pack of balls.
Saying, how young are we talking though? I'm saying you start a kid playing golf at 5-6 years old. He might you might 1000x that couple thousand investment.
Well, I mean it's possible, but I mean you're probably better off. Plus, I think it's better for what's the word? Like it's better for his like childhood development to be around kids his age and playing games and staying active. Because I mean, how active are you in the golf course? Like obviously Charlie Woods has like a wild regimen that he has with his dad, so he's in wild. He's in wild shape, and he has the best that he can get. But like regular people's kids, like I mean, Jay played golf his whole life basically. I mean,
really good.
Yeah, but and I mean they're not. Like, you have to come from a family that can afford it and are, like, dedicated to it. Like, I don't really care about golf like that. I play for fun, but, I mean, I can't coach him. And then I got to pay for a coach. I got to pay for a trainer and have him go out and hit 100 balls every day.
Any sport you got, if you want to be good, you're gonna have to unless you're an expert in it, like you're gonna have to delegate them to someone. If you want them to be good, like if they love it and they want to play college,
but early on, I'm saying with golf, I would have to do that. At least like when my kid is playing Bulldogs and he's playing like middle school and JV, at least I could teach him and be in the backyard and like do stuff with him when he's doing like, or go to like the basketball court and get his rebounds, or bring him to a batting cage and pay for $10 for an hour. Like it's just so much more efficient and so much easier for me to put him in a sport that I understand and that's cheaper for me to do.
Do you think as time, I think you touched on this because you're training kids, but like I don't know, like do you think that it's best for kids to like focus on just one sport, or like just play, like if they want to play football and basketball, or should they just like, if you want to be a basketball player, you should just focus on basketball?
Yeah. One.
Just lock in.
One.
I think
if you want to be great and you want to play in college, unless you're a freak athlete, and there's only a few people that could have played both, maybe what 50. I'm sure there's a little more, but if you really want to be great at one, you got to pick one.
Yeah, like you
especially
said.
now. With how
competitive.
You know what I'm saying? Training when I was coming up is different than training was now. Like I would still have to like go to the park, right, and like rebound my own shot. Like if I wanted to work on my handle, I'd put a fucking plastic bag on the basketball, right? Like I'm doing shit like that. I'm running sand dunes. Like bro, now you got Vertimaxes, shooting machines, YouTube, every workout. You could watch any NBA trainer. You could watch DJ Sackman, C. Brickley, fucking Drew Hanlon. You could watch all their workouts. Implement that. But that's why I think the training market is super saturated, because you got all these trainers that don't know what the fuck they're doing. They've never played basketball at a high level. I'm just speaking basketball because like I see it firsthand. And like I watch these workouts, I'm like, what the fuck are you teaching these kids? Like dudes is going up, cone, sham god, behind the back, layup. And it's like, bro, this kid can't make an open jump shot. He doesn't know to wait for a screen on a pin down. Like you're teaching him to do a sham god against a cone.
You know what that reminds me of? The videos. I think it's like comedy, but the GOI. You know who GOIs is? You've seen his videos?
Yeah, like someone like that. Like
that shit is
I think that's just comedy
hilarious.
because I love his video. I think they're hilarious.
Is he serious?
I think he might have been. I don't think he's serious at this point. There's no way. Because bro, it's just so funny because it's like you have all these moves and bro, like he's breaking out the spider shit. What I do is guarding him and the defender's just like standing like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
It's like when you're making these moves, like you're supposed to do them with intent to get to a certain spot on the court.
He just does it and then does like a fucking hardened step back and then just
that's
kind of
like
what
you're describing.
Like,
it's like they're training dudes.
To me, he sucks. Like he couldn't play anywhere.
So going back to the original point where you said like should people play multiple sports or focus. I think by high school or at least by JV age, you should really decide what you want to play, unless you're a wild athlete like
Yeah.
LeBron or Antonio Gates, where you can play both sports at a high level, and then you decide before college.
Yeah. Up until like I say, like I feel like freshman year, like you should decide.
Yeah.
Like 13, 14, like you should decide. Because, like, it's too, like, everyone wants to fucking play college now. You know what I'm saying? Like, when we were growing up, like, Twitter just started. So, like, we didn't even have the exposure to our minds to see, like, how many colleges there were out there. Like, what the exposure's like. Bro, now you go on Twitter, like, you get recruited on Twitter.
Yeah.
You know, like, you literally could get, like,
and how easy it is to make huddle videos for football and stuff like that. Or just regular videos. You
make
just
a
have
TikTok.
Yeah, make TikToks, like everything.
Twitter, Instagram. Like, you could blow up overnight now. So it's like you got to be ready for your opportunity. So
yeah, I think it's important for like young kids coming up, like up until like middle school age, to stay in sports like baseball and soccer, just to stay active when your sport that you're playing isn't in season. Like for basketball, if you're not playing for a travel team, if you're not playing AAU, and you're just playing like our Sainties and you're playing for the school, you should probably be playing another sport during the spring and summertime.
It's also just fun.
Well,
like
that even like you should be in AAU by like 10 or 11 years old. Like if you love basketball, like you should be in AAU by like 10 or 11. So like then you wouldn't be able to play baseball or football.
Right, but there are kids who like eventually transition, who get really good in high school, and they're able to go to like a D3 college or like Nassau, play for a couple years, actually hone in on their skills for a year, and move on to like an actual D2 school.
Yeah, I mean it's very rare though. Like now, it's very rare now to like not play AAU, like not really be on the circuit or get in the circuit late, and then try to. I see it all the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I was around AAU, I see the kids that like you could tell who's working out all summer and spring and who's not. You know, you could tell who played this year during their high school season and who didn't. Like it's basketball. I mean, I can only speak from experience.
Yeah, I
like,
guess
basketball.
It's different.
Like basketball is not like you need to start at 10 or 11 now. I didn't play that much AAU, and I didn't get recruited firsthand, but I figured out how to make highlight tapes, and I knew how to network. So like I got offers from me doing that. But nowadays, with the transfer portal, with the COVID year, so like now the eligibility is still not going to be back to normal for another 2 years. So like until 2025. So a high school kid to get recruited now is like, unless you're like going to like a Division I, unless you're like a high recruit, bro, it's damn near impossible. Why would a coach? If I'm a coach, right, and I have my livelihood on the line, right, my family, my job dictates whether I have a roof over my head. Would I go get some 17-year-old that has no experience, he's not mature, he's not developed, or will I go get a D2 transfer or a JUCO transfer that's 21 years old that's played already 2 years? I'm going to get that JUCO transfer. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like impossible. I wouldn't say impossible, but it's like this is the hardest it's ever been to get recruited as a high school athlete for basketball. Same high as JJ Redick. And those motherfuckers were tall as fuck. Like JJ Redick is like 6'4", 6'5", and Jalen Brunson was like face to face with him. Josh Hart was like a little taller than both of them.
Josh Hart, bro.
Bro, those are some big dudes. Like I'm not gonna like when JJ shook my hand, like and I was like right next to him, I'm like, that's a big dude. Like this is a big. You know
Wait,
what I'm saying?
are we good now?
Yeah, everything's rolling.
Bro, while we're talking about this, so if you want to maybe say just say that you ran into them.
Oh, yeah. So I'm in Brooklyn. I'm going to do a podcast in Brooklyn with my boy, and I pull up like 10 feet in front of the building, and I look to my left. I see a basketball court. So there's this lady like kind of staring at me, and I'm like, all right, should I not be parking here? Like, because there was kind of like yellow on the curb, so I'm like, maybe I can't park here. And then I just like double glance, and I just see the profile of fucking JJ Redick. And I'm like, yo, I just scream. I'm like, yo, that's fucking JJ Redick. And Jake's like, JJ Redick? And I just, bro, immediately I was like, instinct. Bro, I went up to it's a big glass window. I go up to the window and I'm like, JJ, give me 1 minute. And he like kind of gives me like this side eye. If you know JJ Redick, like he kind of like does like that weird face.
Same face he made to Kendrick Perkins when he's just saying outlandish shit.
So bro, he like looks at me. Then there's you could tell it's like the owner of the gym. He's like this like skinny, tall, white dude, whatever. He has like a basketball in his hands, and like he like points. He's like, yeah, I see him mouth. He's like, you know this guy? Guy looks at me and fucking looks at me like, I don't fucking know this guy. JJ looks back at me with like this like blank face, and I just I'm like, give me 1 minute. I'm like mouthing it because like obviously he can't hear me. And bro, he gets up and starts walking to the door. So he fucking opens the door, comes outside, and he's like, what's up, man? And I was like, yo, I'm a huge fan. I love the show. Obviously, watch you as a player. I have a podcast. It's blowing up right now. If there's any way we could connect or I could get you on, I mean, I don't know. You know, I was kind of like stumbling words a little bit. So I pull up my TikTok and I show him. He's like, damn, you guys are killing it. And I was like, yeah. He's like, shoot me a DM. I'm like, okay. And then I'm wearing my hoodie, and he's like, I like that. I was like, yeah, this is mine. I was like, yo, I play college basketball too, by the way. He was like, oh yeah. I was like, yeah. So that was it. So we go, and we're just like, bro, like my heart's racing. I'm like, fuck, that's fucking JJ Redick. So we go, we do the pod. Obviously, they were pre-pod. I didn't see who they were doing it with. We come out to load the shit back in the car, look inside, and he's sitting down doing Old Man in the Three with Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart. And I'm just like, yo. So, like, we waited when I was on the phone with you. I was like, they're coming out. They were coming out, but they could kind of sense we were, like, just, like, waiting outside. I was like, I don't want to be those people. So I was like, yo, let's just go. I'll run into them sooner or later.
Yeah. Bro, I mean, the reason, like, part of the reason is, bro, like, Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart, bro, like, those dudes are so fun to watch. But Josh Hart especially because, at least for me, like, when he was in Portland, I didn't know how good he was. Watching him now, bro, he is like the exact type of role player that every single team in the league needs.
Perfect glue guy.
Bro, he's elite defensively. He runs the fast break. Bro, the passes he's making on fast break, and even the times when he just takes to the hole himself, he just finishes through two guys and makes this crazy layup, bro. Like, the playmaking with him is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I did not know. I had no idea, like, how good Josh Hart was. But he's, like, completely changed the Knicks, at least.
Yeah,
like
Josh
ever
Hart.
since they've gotten him, I think, with Jalen Brunson, I think last night was the first time they've lost with a full game of him and Brunson playing together.
Wow.
But, bro, Jalen Brunson, too, dude. Like we were saying before, the shot making, you said he's taller than his card says 6'3", I think.
Yeah, he's either, like, a real true 6'3", because, you know, some people say they're 6'3", and they're, like, really, like, 6'1.5", 6'2", or, bro, he was tall. Like, he was, if JJ Redick is 6'4", like they list JJ Redick 6'4", he was face to face with JJ.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, he's a point guard. Like, that's a big ass point guard.
Bro, and like I feel like people would probably say he's almost an undersized point guard at some point. The way he was like marketed to everyone, it's like you thought he was kind of a smaller guard. At least that's the way I thought he was.
Yeah, he is not a small guard.
Yeah.
That's a big
But,
bro.
but the shot making of Jalen Brunson, especially in the paint late in the game, he's able to get anything he wants in front of anyone. And then if he can't get to the rack, he'll do a turnaround fadeaway over like a small forward, power forward, and just right over him. Cash.
Yeah, he's extremely tough. Yeah, he's really good. He proved it.
His his like footwork and everything is just next level. Like his shot making ability is crazy. I knew he was good. I was a fan of the Knicks getting him. But I didn't know that he was this good, bro. He's very special.
Like how you were saying you were stumbling over your words talking to JJ. That's how I felt when I was in Hawaii a couple weeks ago and I saw Jeff McNeil. He pulled up to the bar with the Mets.
Yeah.
He pulled up to the bar and like and of course we were just walking out. We were already there for like 2 hours and we were like, all right, let's move on to another one. He was just walking in and I told Karen and her brother and her cousin, I was like, I gotta go back in. I didn't even tell him why. Walked up, said what's up to him. I was like, hey man, big fan, like huge Mets fan.
He was chill.
Yeah, he was chill. He was with two of his friends, and then actually I saw him out the last night we were there. We went out to like a steakhouse, and he was already in like in a back corner booth on the other side of the restaurant. But like while we were waiting for it, I saw him, gave him a wave, he put his hand up, and then that was just kind of it. And I know, he was there, and it was around the same time. It was like maybe 6-7 days later, DeGrom signs with the Rangers.
Wow.
And I wanted to ask him, I was like, any news on DeGrom? But I also didn't want to bother the shit out of him because I'm sure he probably got asked before. So I was like, all right, let me not.
Cool.
Before we wrap this up, I saw this online and I was talking to Blaze about it because at first glance, like when I tell you, you're gonna be like, yeah. But then like when you break it down, so basically the question that was going around was, if you were in the NFL and you were playing quarterback for one game, do you think you could get 10 passing yards? And immediately Blaze said to me, he's like, yeah, bro. He's like, I would just do screen passes. But then I'm like, bro, like I think you're underestimating how big these linemen are that you have to see over, how fast the game works, just handling the snap alone, like all of this stuff, bro. I
mean, there's no consequences. You just got to play a whole game and get 10 yards passing.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean, the consequence is getting your fucking bell rung and getting CT on the first hit.
Yeah, I would get 10 yards.
Nah, I don't think so because I think every defense would know. Look, this guy can't see over the fucking line. He's gonna throw screen passes. Everybody press your man. And
I'm not throwing screen passes.
you just back it up and chucking balls up.
No, bro. I'm gonna take a 3-step drop and let it rip. If I throw a pick, I throw a pick. I'm gonna get the ball out of my hands. Bro,
how many yards do you think you would be able to throw?
I have no idea, but I can get 10 yards, bro.
I mean, Zach Wilson barely had 19, and he's played college football for 4 years.
That guy sucks.
You haven't thrown a football in a team atmosphere since what, 8th grade?
No, like last year, I played like competitive flag football, and I have a fucking
Competitive
cannon.
flag football. I'm talking about.
Bro, I can throw the ball. I can throw a football 60 yards right now.
All right,
An NFL ball 60 yards. So if you put Tyreek 1-on-1, I could throw. Yeah, I could throw it. I could throw it 55 yards in the air.
Yeah, helmet, shoulder pads, all
Probably
that.
not.
That's what I'm saying. You need to wear a
I'm
helmet.
saying, I obviously, yeah, I'd probably lose 10 yards. I'd probably throw it 45, 50 yards in the air with shoulder pads. I think so.
Yeah, I think you're throwing 10 picks in the first quarter.
I think I can throw 10 yards. I can complete a pass.
I don't.
If I have
disagree.
Justin-
I don't know if I think.
I don't-
If you give me
disagree.
Justin Jefferson, and Tyreek Hill or Jamar Chase, and you give me
Very specific now.
I can't wait for TikTok to flame him. He is. You're wildin'. I think you're more.
Blaze said he thought he could too, and I was like, dude, you couldn't. I was like, especially like Blaze.
gonna show you
Blaze
guys-
is like probably 3 inches shorter than you.
I'm gonna show you guys.
Never played football in his
my
life.
highlight tape
You have.
for football.
I was like, you couldn't do it,
Dude, you can show me your highlight tape. You're not completing a pass in an NFL game. I'm sorry. You have a better opportunity. You have a higher likelihood of hitting a 3 in an NBA game.
I would absolutely hit a 3 in an NBA
But
game.
and that's outside. I think I could hit a 3 in an NBA game. But my point is that see now. But I'm bugging when I could just stand. I could cherry pick. I could cherry pick all games, stand in the corner, not play defense, wait for the ball
The
to come
NBA
to me.
3-point line is a lot farther than the high school 3.
I understand it is, but if I could just stand in the same spot for 60 minutes and take as many shots as I want, I guarantee you, I may go 1 for
NBA game,
Just
though.
standing in the
Like,
corner.
I'm actually saying, bro, run a defense. I think I can complete one fucking pass in the NFL.
Well, it'd have to be for
Bro,
10 yards.
I
there's
don't
sometimes
think
a
so.
quarterback has 6, 7, 8 seconds to throw the ball. You're telling me if Justin Jefferson gets wide open, I can't make a 10-yard in route? Bro, you're acting like every play, there's like you have 1 second to throw the ball. I'm not saying
Defenses
I
would definitely adjust because they would.
Again,
they would adjust to who's playing
You're getting a
quarterback.
3-man rush, and everybody else is everybody's getting double teamed. Every single player will get double teamed, and they're
I
getting
don't think that. I think if there was if one of you were playing quarterback and I was a defense quarterback, I'd be like, blitz this motherfucker and just make sure he has like 2 seconds to throw. It depends on the defense. What's the defense too?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Bro, there's
Are
1,000
you going against the Raiders defense? Sam's least favorite.
Bro,
defense.
there's
Even the
1,000
Raiders
different
Max Crosby.
variables.
with fucking-
There's 1,000 different variables.
the
All right.
worst
But I
defense
can
in
guarantee
the
if I played an entire NFL game, I would have more than 10 passing yards.
All right.
I might have CTE after the game, but I will have more than 10 passing yards. I'll complete a pass.
Here's
if I have
another.
a fucking receiver.
Here's one more thing. This is what my cousin.
I would have
came
10
up with.
passing yards before you hit a 3 in an NBA game.
No.
Yes,
No.
1,000%.
My
I would
cut-
put anything. I would put everything I've ever owned, money, anything on that.
Oh, one more thing before we get too far into it. If you want, I have a signed Jalen Brunson jersey. If you actually end up having a podcast like with JJ and them,
Oh yeah, that would be tough.
you want to bring it, and you could have the rest of them fucking sign it.
Oh yeah, I would do that. Yeah.
Wait, but
100%.
why would you want JJ to sign a Knicks jersey?
Because
Well,
if
I
he's
don't know
doing a
if he's gonna-
podcast with them, like if he obviously,
Oh,
because
I see what
JJ
you're
was
saying.
there.
I would just
Well,
bring
you
him
Jalen's
had
back.
there
them on
too.
as a guest. I don't know if they would be there again.
I mean,
I would
just
say
had Jalen.
I would say if he was interviewing JJ, I'd be like, "Yo, take this basketball and sign that shit."
That's why I didn't even ask him for a picture. Like I could have been like, "Yo, I didn't want to be like I wanted
Right,
to
like-
I want to get you on the pod." I don't give
When
a
I
fuck
was
about the
Yeah.
picture, yeah.
like 7 years ago, when I don't think it was the last time, it might have been the time before that, when the Bethpage Black had the U.S. Open. I was working at Victor's and I was delivering, and Billy, the manager, the owner, he goes to me, he goes, I delivered to this guy earlier. He goes, "Hey, like I just got some inside source that the dude who just won the Black, is staying at this guy's house." And I was like, oh shit, I like delivered there 2 nights ago. And I went back. His name is Patrick Reed.
Yeah.
He's a pretty good golfer.
He is.
And I went there, and of course, everyone there was like, they were like, oh, like this dude he just won $1 million prize that day. And so they go to the back, they print out a shit ton of like clips of him winning, like the news report. They're like, yo, you gotta have him sign this shit. So I went there. I was like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. And he answers the door. It was him, and I was like, you didn't happen to like win the U.S. Open today, did you? And he just starts laughing. He's like, yeah, what's up? And I was like, everyone at work wants you to sign these. So he takes them, he signs them, and then he comes out and he gives me a hat that he signed, like a golf hat, and he signs it.
Wow, that's
and
pretty
he
cool.
gives it to me.
That's dope.
But I just thought that shit was funny because like it was so embarrassing. Also,
Yeah.
like asking people like that to like to like sign shit for that at some point, like it's cool and they expect it, but sometimes it's like, oh fuck, especially that like the dude's at his house, he's ordering pizza, and the whole everyone there was like 10 people like, yo, you gotta have him sign this shit for us. I was like, what are you realistically gonna do with this shit?
Yeah.
None of them
Nothing.
have it now. I still have the hat though.
Yeah.
I remember. I'll tell real quick. I remember I was at a Mets game. I was like probably 8 years old. I'm on the first base dugout side. Jose Reyes is signing autographs. Bro, I get down and I'm like, there's like one more railing to get to like the field level. And bro, I'm like hopping over the railing and like Jose's right in front of me. Jose Reyes is my favorite player. Bro, it's like 40-year-old man trucks me, bro, off of the railing. I fall into the chairs. I drop my baseball. I drop my glove. I drop my pen. Right? Jose Reyes sees it happen. The guy gets to Jose Reyes. Jose Reyes says no. He goes, Jose Reyes didn't speak English. So he's saying no, 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 no. And then he points at me, tells me to come to him. He signs the baseball and then walks away. Crazy. And that guy fucking, and everyone started fucking cheering and shit like that. And my dad was like 15 rows up and like he just like watched the whole thing happen. He's like, that guy's a fucking asshole.
Yeah, what a fucking dickhead.
Yeah. Grown man, bro, like 40
It's
years
like
old.
that dude,
Not-
Zach
I
Campbell.
thought you were gonna say it was like a security guard, and they were like worried that you were like
No,
running
it
after
was a
him,
guy
whatever.
trying to get an autograph too, and I'm
Yeah.
like trying to work my way over the fucking railing because I'm trying to get to Jose Reyes.
It was probably fucking Zach Campbell. You seen that dude?
Yeah.
The dude who collects. He's like
Collects all the
most,
baseballs.
Like, catches like every home run ball.
Really?
He's like a grown man. He's like a skinny grown man who like just runs around. He's like looking like an idiot trying to catch all these
Steals
balls.
them from like little
And he's
kids.
like gotten famous from it, but people like there was one a few years ago where he like got in trouble because like some guy was like a security guy was like, dude, you're not allowed in this fucking section. He was like harassing the guy to get in. He's like, I gotta catch this home run, bro. And like the whole internet was like, fuck you, bro. Like you're an idiot.
That was during the Aaron Judge 60 home run
was
thing.
this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that dude is a clown. But last thing.
All right, yeah. Bring
Last
us home.
thing.
Bring us home.
It sort of relates to the football thing. My cousin said to me one time, he was like, this is a thing that him and his buddies talk about. He said, if you were placed on an NBA team and you had to play a full NBA game and you could pick the best players in the world, like so you could have, let's say, I guess since we're the smallest, we'd be the point guard. Then you could have Steph Curry, you could have LeBron, you could have Giannis and Embiid with your team, and you were playing just a regular team. They were like, do you think that your team would be able to win the game?
Yeah.
And they were saying the argument for not winning the game was they said that you would just be attacked on every single play. Whoever you were guarding, they would just basically abuse you and just score on you every single time. And then they would also not guard you, so they would basically they would basically just double whoever's getting the ball. And at first I was like, yeah, bro, like yeah, I mean, and then I was like, he was like, yeah, but like what if it's like a guy like, what if you're going up against a guy who's like a Jalen, I'm just thinking of guards, like Jalen Brunson or like a Dame Lillard or something. He was like, bro, like they would score on you every single time they touched the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, maybe you got a point. And I was like, the more I thought about it, the more I was like, fuck, like maybe I would be able to bring down this team of like all superstars. Like I was like,
but
fuck.
that's the point. I mean, I really don't think it matters who you're playing against. But if you're playing against like a bench squad,
That's the idea was like you're basically just playing a regular team. A bench squad would be like dramatic, like
yeah. So if
even the thing is like it's like what we talked about before. It's like Division I basketball players, even D2, D3 hoopers, bro. It's like if they walk into an open gym, they're so far and away the best player. It's not even fun. It's not even close. Like people underestimate how good like these basketball players are.
even like
Especially
and
like
I'm gonna
college
say-
ones.
I'm gonna say even in football, they've been saying for years, would Alabama beat the worst team in the NFL? No, they wouldn't.
They would get smoked.
They would get absolutely fucking smoked. And all of these guys are 5-star recruits, and they've been 5-star recruits since they were in fucking 9th grade.
Yeah.
But this guy's fucking walking on the field throwing 10 yards.
It's really easy for people like for us who are like the viewers and like to just talk shit, and it's like some people just do it, like we do it and you know what it is, but it's like there are some people I think out there that genuinely like don't understand how good these guys actually are.
Yeah. And it's
like,
what Charles Barkley was saying on the on like the post game show for CBS. I saw a clip of it today. He was basically saying like there's all these people out there who have all these opinions about what's going on in sports, and they think they know better than everybody else, which is true. I mean, there's a lot of us ourselves, or even any other podcast that's on TikTok or YouTube or Instagram. I mean, it's just everybody has an opinion, or social media for that matter, on Twitter. Everybody has an opinion, and they don't have enough information to base it off of.
Yeah, facts. Last thing before we go, this is just like 2 seconds. Goes back to an old argument we had the other night in the post game. They were interviewing Josh Hart, and he was like, yeah, like I think I could have been a pretty good linebacker. And I think that it made me laugh, and it just made me think about our argument that we had, like, kind of off the pod. It's like
he's getting
NBA
trucked.
players being in the NFL. Yeah, and he was like, I think I could be a pretty good linebacker.
He's getting absolutely blown up.
Dude, he's a dog, Josh Hart. I love watching him play basketball.
It was a dog, Najee Harris. He's putting his forehead straight into his chest, and he's getting fucking bowled over.
Najee Harris out of everyone. That was your
Derrick Henry.
That was your choice.
Well, Derrick Henry is like a given, but I'm saying like a second tier running back is still running him over.
I think Austin Eckler's gonna. I saw he was complaining. I saw he went on Chris Long's podcast.
Yeah,
he was saying like, bro, he's like, I'm holding out until I get what I deserve. He's like, I'm a lock. He's like, I'm a lock for 20 touchdowns, 1,600 all-purpose yards. He's like, and no one wants to give me any money.
He said he's still open to being with the Chargers, but
the clip was like, he's like, bro, I'm not like settling for like nothing because I've earned it.